here with Craig Mooney, and we just met this morning. We've been talking about all sorts of fun stuff from APIs, CRMs, integrations. So I'm looking forward to talking to you this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So is this your first year at BCMC?
This is my first year, but I've been in the Truss supply sales side of things for over 5-6 years, and building materials before that for another 5 years. So 10 years altogether.
Okay.
First year here, pretty excited to see all the innovative stuff like Paragon and everything we're seeing here.
I saw you yesterday in a panel. Tell me some of the things about what you were talking about there.
So the panel discussion was about CRM specifically, and it's something that's really lacking in the truss industry is having a robust CRM that can manage your leads, your deals, and following up, that kind of stuff. So really as a CRM, it fails to give us the opportunity to close deals better and increase our win-loss ratio. So that's what the panel was about for the most part.
And just judging from people's response and kind of the lines of questioning, it seems like some of those concepts are a little new for some of the industry.
We're really trying to help get the industry caught up in tech and making sure that we set automations and API connections like you mentioned, and so we don't fall behind. And there's a wave right now with AI to where if you get left behind, the gap between those who adopt it and those who don't are going to spread faster and faster.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. So what kind of conversations are you looking forward to most having while you're here?
Conversations like with you in terms of integrating. It's again something that in this industry is so unheard of, is integrating with software and tools that you use. So really just seeing what AI tools people are creating, what design tools that we can integrate with our clients and help automate so they're not jumping from software to software.
Absolutely. That CRM space is difficult because you are bringing in so many different data sources.
Right.
And if you have one player that doesn't play well, it can really throw a big wrench into your operations. Is there any suggestions or ideas you have for trying to get around some of those difficult scenarios where you find yourself with kind of stuck with the software that you don't know how to integrate?
I'd say first of all, look into Paragon. That's a shameless plug because I mean that's the only, not the only way, but it's really the best way right now to look into tapping into that information. Looking at cloud-based software similar to Paragon, let's say with project management tools, CRMs, make sure the API is open and you can make those connections.
And when it comes to the habits that you're building when you're setting up your workflow, I feel like that's the most important piece that a lot of people overlook.
Right.
You guys talked a little bit about that yesterday.
I call it the self-driving sales system. So this is the path and how to get to automated sales essentially. So it's really achieving your goals by aligning your people with optimized processes, like you were mentioning, habits, with the right tools. And so that's where we start with the workflow or the workflow mapping. We review your current workflow, find inefficiencies, find spaces that you're jumping from software to software, and you have to have a detailed map, and you section it off into certain use cases. So incoming bids, how do you log that in? Okay, now how do you follow up? And then going into the next stage of design, estimating, submitting your bid, that kind of stuff. So that's the review stage, and then the automating stage is mapping it out, saying, okay, we can integrate with these softwares, set automations, and that's where you really find your avenues in terms of your next step.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the software we need to take. This is where we're going to really optimize. And then that's where you get to the next step of having a confident launch, where it's just small steps, small wins. So again, starting with that first use case in your workflow is incoming bids. Get that in your new system, and then just enhance. You just want to keep adding to it, because software, hopefully the software you choose is constantly evolving, improving. If not, you're getting left behind. So just evolve with the software and find a software that's always evolving too.
Yeah, it sounds like you're saying you got to figure out those workflows before you try to figure out your software.
Exactly. Map it out and get your team involved too. Not just from a higher level with management that think this is how we do things. You want to get everyone who uses your products or your tools and get their ideas and learn how they're doing it. You might find that person is doing things completely differently, not only causing inefficiencies, but inaccuracies that are costly. It's a delayed delivery could cost you, thousands of dollars, or a missed truss or misdesigned truss, just because you're all working in silos.
And I think that's one of the reasons that the construction industry tends to sometimes feel behind, is because we're dealing with real stuff. You've got materials that cost real money.
Right.
And you can't just say, oops, we messed up, because that could be
one day delivery miscommunication could cost you a whole customer that's paying you $1 million a year, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or it could, one day of a loss of a delivery could turn into 2 weeks instead of just one day, because our schedules are so tight.
And all the other people that are relying on that working.
Yep, exactly.
I'm curious if you have any ideas or thoughts about what it will look like in the next couple of years, and maybe what some of the future holds for this industry.
Yep, absolutely. I think one thing that first and foremost is the CRM is for a database, right? You want to build that database for what's coming is AI, right? The AI assistants, the AI agents. And so that's what I see coming from a digital side of things. And so with teaming up with something like Paragon, you use those assistants or agents to find information quickly, give it to your customers, give it to your salespeople. That's really going to streamline and help people, help companies from increasing their overhead by hiring more people. That's what I'm excited about. I think it's just right around the corner. It's getting introduced to every other industry right now. So I'm hoping in the next year or two we can start implementing those.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for stopping and talking to me. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thanks, Carlton.
Appreciate it.